Okay, so today I'll teach you guys how to compile and decompile models from Source Engine to Blender, and just let's get started. So first we'll need 3 programs, actually 2 programs and 1 plugin for Blender. So we'll need Crowbar to decompile and compile the models. We'll need GCFscape so we can extract the models from the game and therefore we can decompile them. And we'll also need Blender Source Tool so we can import the models into Blender. So I'm just gonna show you guys how to download all of them. So the links will be in the description. So to download GCFscape, you just go here, install it, and just save that. To download Crowbar, you just come here and go down here, Crowbar. It's gonna lead you to Drive, Google Drive. Just download that, save, just close all that, and Blender Source Tool, just click that and be done. Okay. Let me just put these all here. So to install GCFscape, you're just gonna run this. Crowbar, you just extract it and it's done. You don't need to install Crowbar, it's just this. And for Blender Source Tools, we need to open Blender, so I'm just going to open it. You go to File, User Preferences, and just load. You go down here, install add-in from File. So now you're going to click User and it's going to show up here. You just take it and save user settings and you can close this. Okay, so to get started, we're going to need to open GCFscape. So for this tutorial, I think I'll extract the pistol. So what you do is you go to your Half-Life 2 folder, and you can search for MISC, this file. You can search for this file and you open it. And here are all the models from Half-Life 2. So I'm just gonna go to Weapons. The models that start with V are the VO models, and W is just the weapon model itself without the hand. So I'm gonna export, let me just see here, pistol. So you have to select all files that contain pistol, like all of the pistol files. So just click extract. I'm gonna create a new folder here, which is be just pistol. I'm gonna click OK. So now we have extracted the pistol model. Yeah. So now you open Crowbar and you can select the files here. So let's just pistol, and you select the pistol.mdl. I've never used this one, but just go with this one, it works. So I'm just gonna select the same folder, like pistol, open. I suggest you do this because sometimes it just doesn't work if you don't do this, so just extract the same folder the MDL file is. So now just click decompile. Let's just open Blender now. Here. Okay, so with Blender opened, the first thing I'm going to do here, let me just do one thing so you can see what I'm pressing. So first we're going to delete everything with A, then X, and delete. So now we have this plain view here. And now we're going to import the source engine file. So just go to your just install. So here we'll have these two files we can open. Don't open the file that ends with QC, it just doesn't work. You have to open the SND file that contains the reference in it. So let's just double click it. And now we have this, which is just the model and doesn't have any animations. So if I press like Alt A, it's just not going to do anything because there's no animations. So let's load an animation here. Let's just go to import, source engine, and anims, and here we have all the animations for the pistol. So I'm going to open the draw animation. Okay, so now if I press Alt A, it's going to do the animation. As you can see here, just doing the animation like Half-Life 2. So one thing you should do before you start editing this is you need to add a camera. So Shift A, camera, and press N so you can just change the rotation of this. I'm just going to do this. Okay, so the correct values for this is just 270, 180, and 0. That's for X, Y, Z. So if we go to the camera now and just press 0 and goes to the camera, we can't see anything. So to fix this, what we have to do is select the bone. We go to this thing here, and we click shapes, so it's gonna do this thing. It's also much nicer to work with bones when they are like this, because just this is just disgusting to work with, honestly. So just leave it to this, and if we press 0 now, it just doesn't have anything to it. If we start the animation out, it looks a bit weird, you know, it looks a bit off. This is not how it looks in Half-Life 2. So what we can do here is you select the camera, you go to this tab over here, and you change from millimeters to field of view, or fourth, and just change this to 75. Okay, so if you go here, yeah, it's much more like Half-Life 2 now. This far view, you can choose the one you use in Half-Life 2. I use 90, but I use 75 for this tutorial in particular. So let's just get started, and let's just start to add the bones now. So if we select the mesh and then we select the bone, we can go to pose mode, and this is where all the animation is stored. So if we click one bone, let's just say this bone, we can see here that it has a keyframe for each frame, and each frame is different. That's why it has all these keyframes. If you pay attention to it, just like here, if you pay attention, like it's in a different position every time, every frame. So that's what the keyframe is for. And up here we can see what's changing. Wait, what is it? So it's not changing anything actually, but what's actually changing this is, I think it's this one. Yeah, you can see the rotation is changing. It's not changing anything here, but this one is changing its position. So even though we didn't set here, it's connected. They're both connected. So anyway, to show a very simple example, what I'm going to do here, let's just select that, is I'm going to change this finger rotation. So I'm just gonna erase all the rotations that it has. So I'm gonna click click here and clear keyframes, so it wouldn't have different rotation. Yeah, the yellow ones are the ones that have keyframe set to it, I guess. I don't know. So yeah, I'm just gonna go here and change the. Just select the first one. Just go there. Also, if you press period, it's just gonna center the wheel into the bone. Okay. So I'm just gonna kind of rotate it a little bit so I can show you. So yeah, shortcut time. So G moves the bone, so you can move it, and R just rotates it. You can press Z to, you know, rotate it in this axis, or Y, or X. You can do the same with G as well. You can move it like this. But I'll just do it by I here. Really, just it's a bit bad. Yeah, it's really bad. So anyway, now you select the bone. You just edit it, and you're gonna press I, and then you're gonna insert a keyframe. So in this case, I only changed its rotation, so I'm just gonna set it to keyframe its rotation. So if we press play now, it's gonna have the same rotation for every frame here, and that's because I didn't set a different rotation for like the end here, so it's gonna have the same one as the first one. So if I were to like set a different rotation for this, I'll just say here, Blender would automatically do it for you, like the transition from that to that. So let me just yeah, you can see that. Okay, so I'm just gonna go advance this frame by frame just so you can see. So at first it starts like pointing up, you can see that, and when I go almost to the end, it's pointing down, and Blender just does that for you. Of course, you can do it excuse me, much better manually, but yeah, that's just one way to do it. So I'm not going to get much into detail into this, so I'll just compile this. So once you've finished tweaking your animation here and just doing all crazy things here, what you're going to do is you're going to this tab, which is scene, go down, and you're gonna find this bar here. It's just source engine export. Select SMD and select a folder for it. So I'm just gonna export it to my desktop here. Yeah, I'm gonna accept, and oh, that's that. Okay, so just click export now and draw.smd. So now we have this folder here, which contains draw.smd, which is different from the one here, the default one. So just move that in, or you can just back up this file if you want to. I'm not going to. So now all we have to do is you can take this folder here. But wait, now actually we have to compile it now. So just come here to Robot again and go to this tab, compile, browse, and you're gonna search for the QC file. Then select work folder, and I'm just gonna create a new here, and it's gonna be pistol compile. So open it. So now you're gonna select the game you want to compile to. In this case, I edited for Half-Life 2. So now just click compile, and it's done. I'm pretty sure there's no errors here. I'm just gonna close this. It may give you a message like this, but it's okay. So now we have to install this newly modified model or whatever. So now just go to Steam folder, Half-Life 2, and in Half-Life 2, HL2, just create a new folder here called custom. So open custom and paste this photo here. You can't just do this, like just paste models inside this. It won't work. You need a subfolder. So just create a new folder and paste the models there. So now I'm gonna open Half-Life 2 and see if it worked. Okay, so now in Half-Life, I'll just show you guys real quick. It actually worked. As you can see, his finger moved. It looks really bad, but it's just an example. I'm not going to get into detail on how you animate stuff. I'm not good at it. So let me just do here so you can see it better. So post timescale 5. So by doing that, I'll show you. Yeah. His finger moved. So yeah, that's how to do it. Works perfectly. Yeah. So anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.